But overall, like I said, I really like this movie. I like the fact that it does make all the efforts to tie the other two movies together for its trilogy. Like, obviously, like I mentioned, Harvey Dent gets referenced a lot, and of course it's tied back into Ra's al Ghul and his plan begins. Bless you.
Ow. Thank you.
And I do like the fact also that this plot has a lot of Chekhov's guns, i.e. small details that are brought up you think are completely unimportant just come back later on and prove to be a bigger part of the story. All of those I really like. I wouldn't say it's an absolutely perfect movie because I did have one or two faults of it. It's not exactly faults unique to this movie particularly. It's more Nolan's style of writing, or at least his writing for the Batman films, which keeps cropping up. Like, one of the things I've noticed about Nolan's style is that there are many moments when the characters have a tendency to, if not philosophize, then basically just sit out and lie for no reason. The one moment where it really irritated me is that one moment where Catwoman was doing this job for somebody else and then was trying to get her reward from them because, you know, villains are double crosses and everything.
Naturally.
Yeah, and she pins the guy down to the floor and says, "Where is it? Give me what you promised me." And the guy, who's honestly just a businessman, he's obviously not going to be important to the plot, suddenly starts going, the clean slate. The program that allows you to completely erase all mention of you on record. That'd be a great thing for someone like you to have. A chance to completely wipe away all the bad things you've done. And it's like, dude, why are you trying to psychoanalyze her? You're just a business...
Oh my god, random businessmen stealing villain monologues. That sounds like a newspaper headline you'd get in a comic book. Random businessmen stealing villain monologues.
An exclusive for the planet. Anyway...
That's gonna come up whenever we're done with this broadcast, I guarantee you.
Yeah. Yeah, there's moments like that which can kind of irritate me, and then there's also the occasional unsubtle political commentary, because I wouldn't exactly call it the Occupy movement, but there are moments in the film which is very clearly supposed to be commenting on the whole gap between rich and poor and the resentment in that. That's not part of the reason why Catwoman in this movie comes up from a rough family, because he actually says to Bruce Wayne at one point, "You're going to regret living so large and not leaving anything for the rest of us," that kind of thing. And then Bane's plan pretty much works on him saying, "We are going to take Gotham away from the rich people and give it back to you."
Yeah, basically setting up what amounts to, well, one of those old communist revolutions you'd see in the 70s and 80s.
Pretty much, yeah, and there are one or two unsubtle lines to that effect. Like, there's this one moment where Bane breaks into the stock exchange, and there's one moment where people say, "This is only a stock exchange, you can't steal money here." And then Bane just goes, "So why are you here?" It does make me just groan, oh, really? You're going there? And there's also one other element I feel I have to comment on, but before that, I must say this.
Warning! Warning! This is a gigantic freaking spoiler. Seriously, this is one of the biggest spoilers in the entire movie. If you do not want to be spoiled for it, skip ahead to
2150
and resume the video from there.
Fair enough.
So, okay, there's this kind of big plot twist that Bane is kind of hyped up to be the mastermind of everything. Batman goes after him to find the trigger for the nuclear bomb, because the way Bane sets it up is that he has given the trigger to a random citizen of Gotham, so that anyone in Gotham could be the guy who holds the trigger, and if they mess with Bane, they're the one who can set it off. And Batman thinks, well, this must be a bluff, because Bane wouldn't trust it to any random guy in Gotham before their plan is done. So he attacks Bane and then starts going, "Where is it? Where is the trigger?" And then it's revealed that one of these side characters up until this point, a businesswoman who has been helping Bruce Wayne and the others trying to help Gotham, stabs him in the chest and reveals that she is in fact the true mastermind of all that was going on.
You know, funnily enough, I read that. I still have no idea what to make of this, because it's a very fine line when you reveal the mastermind of a story to be someone completely contradictory to what is actually displayed, especially if you make the mastermind a side character.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of difficult to describe, because on the one hand, I do kind of like the idea, and she kind of reveals herself that her real name is Talia al Ghul, and it is true that Ra's al Ghul did have a daughter in the comics, so it's not like they pulled this completely out of thin air. And also, on a side note, when she first appeared, I was spending the entire movie trying to think who the actor was, because she has this faintly foreign accent. I don't know whether it's Indian or Spanish or something like that, but she has the faint hint of an accent in her voice, and I spent the most of the movie thinking, oh, that's an interesting voice, I wonder if she's done anything else. And then the instant she sang down Batman and started talking with a sense of malice in her voice, I started kicking myself because I realised she was the villain from Inception.
Oh, wow.
I started thinking to myself, oh my god, she's Mala from Inception, a movie written by Christopher Nolan. How did I not see that coming?
By the way, just to clarify on the accent, because I'm a hopeless nerd when it comes to this, it's French.
Okay, that clears several things up, but yeah. I'm on as well, because on the one hand, it does kind of tie some elements back in, and it's not complete. It has pull because it is explained that the boy who climbed out of the prison did have a protector, and it makes sense that Bane was the protector, the one who climbed out, but it doesn't make any sense that people kept referring to the one who climbed out as Bane the entire time, even if he was the same guy in the prison, unless they were all told to say that. That's the part. I mean, it kind of works, but it kind of doesn't. That's the...
Yeah, it's not quite a story-breaking reveal like Toby in Naruto is prone to, but it's not quite on the level of Bleach's first plot twist. You know which one I'm talking about whenever Aizen was still a good villain.
Yeah, that's kind of true. I think that's the best way to describe it. It's not like it's a complete 180, and it does add something to the plot, but at the same time it kind of weakens Bane's role a little bit, where he goes from mastermind to just a random guy.
Yeah, I saw that complaint too. He went from mastermind badass after that reveal to big cock mook.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, he still does get one badass line. Wow, this spoiler section's gone on for a long time, but what the hey. Talia al Ghul basically says, don't kill Batman yet, I want him to feel the fire that destroys Gotham burn in his face before he dies. She drives off, and then after a few seconds, Bane just punches Batman and goes, yeah, I think we both know I have to kill you now. You'll just have to imagine the fire.
Oh my god. And the fact that he speaks basically posh makes that all the better.
So yeah, I think we can end the spoiler section then. That's one bit which may be hit or miss to some people. I think overall I liked it, but I can see with people that it is a bit shaky ground. And also, the other bit I forgot to mention, this is another element of Nolan's writing which, again, it wasn't too bad. I could pretty much sit through it, but there are moments which, I don't know what you could call the equivalent of movie, but kind of arc fatigue, where there are just moments where they have several scenes to establish something and you're thinking, okay, I kind of get the point now, can we speed it up a little bit? Like, the climax is, I know it's bringing the entire trilogy to a close, but it is very, very long. It's not like I was ever bored or having my feet, oh, come on, can we get on with it? But there is a lot to absorb all at once, so it kind of gets tiring after a while. That much I will admit, but like I said, these complaints are all really minor, and to be honest, I can live through most of them. It's still a really good movie, and there are plenty of scenes, like, for every, like, mild moment where you're thinking, hang on, that doesn't quite make sense. There are some absolutely terrific moments, like, there's this one bit of, I guess you could call it soundtrack dissonance, where, just before Bane's about to execute his master plan, there's a bit where it's showing all the images of cops trying to raid Bane's base, not realizing it's a trap, explosives being set up all around the city, people trying to rush, etc. And all the sound is muted. It is just this one kid who's singing the American national anthem with like this choir, and it's kind of hard to describe, but it is a brilliantly effective scene and it helps to set up tension really well. Although admittedly, one bit that did make me laugh is that during said scene, Bane just randomly goes, "That's a very beautiful voice."
Yeah, I thought TV tropes remark on that too. The hilarious part is everyone is going into the significance of the line.
There were many good films, and Oh, I just find it a really enjoyable movie. It is a really good end to the trilogy. I mean, yeah, there is one scene in the ending which I do have to say was unbelievably cheesy, but at the same time I do like that path they've chosen for how to close Bruce Wayne's arc. It's definitely good though to end this series on. I don't know if I could say it's my favourite of the Batman trilogy. I'd have to watch both this and Batman Begins again. But overall, I would say I definitely enjoy the Dark Knight. I think if you don't keep your expectations up too high, you'll enjoy the movie. That's my only advice, but I think overall this movie is going to be divisive no matter what approach you take with it, really.
Yeah, so basically, if you watch it, try to move past your love of the Joker winning everything.
Pretty much, yeah. So, I think for now we'll have to say farewell to the Christian Bale Batman voice, unless he decides to take part in the Batman reboots, which... why?
And just as a tribute to our now gravel voice Crusader, I like smoking.
A gravelly voiced smoker versus a posh muscle man. Anyway.
Who used to be a luchador.
Yeah. That's it. They should have used that as the subtitle. Anyway. Okay, we're getting off topic now. Moving on to the next section.
Quickfire Reviews!
It's now time for us to review everything else we've read, watched or played, but within the maximum time limit of 60 seconds. So, Sven, anything? Anything at all?
This toilet paper. Never mind.
Okay, I'll just quickly move on then.
Recently, I've been playing Pokemon Conquest. It's actually a pretty fun game. The battles are fun. Of course, obviously, it's Pokemon. And I do like the new strategy elements they put in, such as micromanaging the armies, the actual warriors themselves having the different abilities that can enhance your game plan, etc, etc. The one criticism I will give is the fact that the story is pretty much non-existent. In fact, the start of the game is pretty much, there's a legend that if you unite all 17 kingdoms, you'll have a legendary Pokemon. Do this.
Wow, it's straightforward at least.
Yeah, that's the thing. I would have preferred it if there was a bit of a stronger story, because there's definitely potential. There are loads of cool characters based on Japanese historical figures, obviously, but it's kind of a shame that pretty much most of the story is, oh, we better go here and invade people. Oh, we better do that then. It's just, I just feel like...
In fact, from what I've seen of the game, it's if you took Ogre Battle 64, gave it to Bane, and had him wring the story out of it.
Pretty much, yeah.
To give a callback to the review we literally just made.
So yeah, I enjoyed it. I just wish that if they do make a sequel, I would like more story in it. That's all I'm saying.
And that is not too much to ask, I don't think.
Sword Art Online, a new anime streaming on Crunchyroll, which I'm actually really enjoying because it has good writing and characters, even if the plot is the kind of generic setup of one man decides to create an MMO and then lock several kids in it and tell them, oh, by the way, if you die in this MMO, microwaves will fry your brain and you'll die for real. But otherwise, really enjoyable action story, although mildly depressing since the death count is pretty high.
As it tends to be with those.
Yeah, it's kind of impressive considering we're only about 5 or 6 episodes in, but...
Oh, wow. George R.R. Martin, take notes. Actually, no, don't. You can't afford to kill any more characters. You have 5 left.
Oh, yeah. But that's it, and I will still honestly say it is a good story, even if it is kind of tragic.